one is dedicated to making things simple. That is why she has written the book, Jaws, The Story of a Hidden Epidemic, and recently finished the book, Read 4.0. Without much further ado, let's please welcome Dr. Sandra Carr.
Thank you, and thank you for the invitation. It's an honor. Hold on to your seat because I am going to go through everything super quickly. Life Science article next to a Nobel laureate and 3 members of the Academy of Sciences. It has become the definitive opinion on malocclusion being mostly environmental, not genetic. A neuroscientist, Dr. Robert Sapolsky, and what I'm learning from him these days is just blowing my mind. What's the best age to treat? This child is taking a break during feeding in order to take a breath. And a new area that we are starting to do research on with Dr. Engelke in Germany is athletes, and athletes can improve on their breathing. The systems that we're using are giving incredible results with endurance athletes, and right after the swallow, we have the soft palate glued to the back of the tongue. This is what we call the uplock. It helps the nose work better and helps us make more efficient the passage of air. How can we get a child that looks like this on the left to look like a kid here in only a couple weeks, closing their mouth at rest? See, the babies are born with a reflex for sucking. They're completely asleep and they lose the suction and then they start sucking again. And this is what the baby's doing to protect their airway patency. There is stuff in the air that is taxing the nose. This will happen. This is my son right here. Copex will help him use better posture. If you have a mouth like this, we're not going to be successful. The palate will come down with semi-rapid expansion, remodeling. Frontal compartment where the teeth are, and the Donner's compartment, which is the space above the palate where negative suction is created. This is the uplock. The uplock has been written since 1873. It's the first time Dr. Donner's wrote about it, and there's a lot of literature because it's a new language. We are not going to talk about the lips, we're going to talk about vowel number 1, because when we change the language, we can define what we want to do in terms of function. The front of the tongue, but the tongue can stay passively up if we develop that slight negative suction. Tongue posture is not an active position, it's a passive position, because when we go to sleep, we can't really hold the muscle. You can't just practice all day with your arm like this, and when you go to sleep, keep it like this because you practice. Back of the tongue will close against the soft palate, which has been very much ignored in our profession, and the pharyngeal wall, which closed the back compartment. We have the entrance to the larynx, where the glottis and the epiglottis open and close and protect our airway. And the back, we have the esophagus, which is always closed unless we have food going through. And then we have the nasal valve. The blocker, you can see the bubble in the front will get inverted when the tongue is in the right place, and the soft palate will be glued to the tongue. And we ask the patients to swallow, recognize that. And we now have that available also for babies, which is very exciting because we can have the parents see if the babies are continuing to hold that negative suction. That is a reflex that we have as human beings. That infancy is unique, irreparable, and finite. 1,000 days to get things right. It goes by so quickly. He shows her with her finger to recognize the ball. We're fostering an environment where good things can happen. This has all been published. A girl that's in the spectrum of autism, music or reading, and see how we're trying to pull out the device, and she's holding it with negative suction. This also can help patients that wear CPAP. With that, I'm open for questions, and if you want to say anything or comments, please. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Interesting presentation. A big thank you again for sharing your expertise and enlightening us with your vast knowledge and also your in-depth research.